The US is both blessed with taste and cursed with ill fates, as um, I see three big contributors to to the unhealthy craze, where I see there's salt, sugar, and bad fats. My argument would be why the US should be an easier place to eat healthier. So, my first point would be what the US is doing right now. My second point would be what the condition the US is in right now. And my third point would be if costs sway people's decisions to purchase unhealthier foods. There might be some counterclaims towards mine saying that the US is a capable country already and that the US should respect the freedom it's offering and that the US, the costs, um, we should be grateful of the affordable food. But I feel the negatives outweigh the positives here. So first off, let's see what the US is doing right now. The USDA's My Plate plan is a different, more simplified version of the food pyramid. Looking at Harvard T.H. Chan's School of Public Health, they compared their healthy eating plan with the USDA's, and they found some flaws within it. Looking at some categories like protein, um, there Harvard states that the USDA does not highlight the differences between red and slash processed meat and between other sources of protein, where red slash processed meat, they're they have more risks associated to them, and that they can harm you and then the environment. Uh, for another thing is Another thing Harvard states is that while Harvard wants us to be wary of the different types of fat so we can know which ones to prioritize for our health, the is pretty silent on fat, except for some exceptions in their website that they mention saturated fats a bit, but they don't really go into detail of the different kinds of fats. Uh, Next, we're going to see what the US is doing right now. According to the CC and the University of South California, the US has 96 million pre-diabetics and 37.3 million diabetics. The US obesity prevalence is about 41.9%. Well, this data is from 2017 through 2020. It's a bit relevant. And the US also has more than 122 million people that has acquired high blood pressure. And these are very high numbers, if you ask me. So going back to My Plate for a bit, going back to My Plate, their information relates to this topic here because the USDA counts juice slash canned vegetables and fruits as part of their healthy eating plan, which is bad since businesses can add whatever they want to their products, like preservatives or extra sugar. Finally, we're going to see if the cost can sway purchases or how people want to purchase or not. So these offers from the Utah State University, they have their own fair share of sources that back up their claims, so those will be shown on the screen as well. So this study claims that a typical family of four, following the My Plate guidelines, usually have to pay about $1,000 to $1,200 a month, which is a pretty expensive lifestyle. Other studies argue that it's a matter of perspective. If we look at through the lens of calories, then unhealthier foods seem to be cheaper. But if we look at it through the lens of typical portions, then healthier foods actually seem to be the cheaper option. The U.S. can do so much more to implement policies that encourage healthier eating, such as maybe taxing on healthier options and making healthier options cheaper, promoting yummier dishes, involving healthier options. But there's one counter argument that demolishes all my points, honestly, because why should we care about what the US is doing right now? Why should we care about what the condition is the US is in? Why should we care about the cost of unhealthy foods? Well, why should we care if junk food is just delicious? And I mean, I admit to this craving too, but we still have to understand the importance of nutrition and that the US can do so much more.